Um, Today I'm gonna be working on the game. I might do some pixel art later. I didn't finish what I was doing last stream, but I wanted to work on some code, fix some bugs, and yeah, I think there were some people in the chat last time that I was talking to them, and I think I said I might get on the next day, and uh, yeah, this week just ended up being more busy than I wanted it to be. A couple appointments, and then Easter weekend was kind of a no go. But yeah. So I'm just gonna be working on. Oh, there's some bugs that have been really bothered me. Let's see. If I go into here, I know that I can cycle through this new menu I made, but we got if I cancel out, it just like won't cancel. And I get I think I have to move this window to see it, but field skill cycler menu cancel. I have that printing somewhere in my code, and I believe I found it. So we'll just take a look here. So I was really sloppy about making the UI. Um, well, here's why. Okay. So when I go to the switch menu here, we got these boxes that pop up, and I just dropped in the same ones that are in the pause menu as like a temporary measure, but I need to make them unique to the battle menu. Because I think this is what it is. My pause. Yeah, well, okay, it's called a pause party member window, which is like the windows where you see their stats in the pause menu. I should never have done that. And here, right here, it's deactivating the field skills if absent. I need to check what that method is. But basically, in the pause menu, you could like check their skills and they'd be the ones that you can see in the field. And I think it's trying to cancel out of that and it doesn't exist here. So let me see. Pause party menu cycler. But they're attached to a backup party box. Oh no, they would have a like sub cycler. Okay. What is that's not the right. Deactivate field skills if absent. Do I have that method? Oh, there. Uh all right. So if the assigned party member of the window is not null, and then for skill in their known skills, if it's a field skill, you can add child to it. And then return. Okay. I think that's what I got there. Why am I calling this? Okay. So it's after assigning a party member to it. So it's filling up this switching box that you switch to another party member with these type of things, and then where am I printing? I gotta search in my files. Cancel. Or what was the output? Let's see. Field skill cycler menu cancel. Did I get a typo on that? Cycler menu cancel. All right. That's in here. So it must have this script attached to the skills menu cycler of this. Oh, yeah, right there. Field skills menu cycler. And right, and we wouldn't see the field skills in the battle. I need to refactor all of that. Okay. All right. How do I want to approach this? I also want to be able to style them their own way. And I was fastest way I did it was just lazy, but okay. So we will save that branch as a scene. Can't save the branch of an already instantiated scene. To save a variation, you can make an inherited scene based on... Okay. New inherited scene. How do I do that? Can't remember. Duplicate. Just make it local and then save branch as a scene. Right. Okay. We'll call it switch party member window. Pause menu, battle screen. I guess we'll just save it here. But then we're gonna have a lot of fixing to do. Okay. Okay. All right. Where was it? It was right here. On switch menu background, switch party member window. Get rid of that. Okay, we need 12 of those, and then we need to make them unique. Fix up their scripts. Bring that down there. Want it at the correct level. Fuck. That's not what I meant to do. Oh. A little typo there. Doesn't really matter. But man, this is all bugged out. I really, when I started this, I kind of just kept slapping stuff on to fix UI, but like a bunch of stuff stapled together. That's why I'm fixing a lot of it now, because I'm like, if I keep going with this, I'm going to accrue so much technical debt. I don't know how to make my own UI. I just started slapping things on until it starts to kind of work, but the code's so tangled. Like, I didn't use any like pre-built solutions or whatever. I kind of wanted to make it all the way I wanted to make it, and I'm sure there's like standardized ways of doing some of this stuff, but I just avoided it. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna just fix the same typos here. Hello. How's your day going? Yeah, mine's pretty good. Just working on my game. I've been trying to motivate myself to make continue making my game and like get back into it after having to take a couple of breaks. And I figured just starting streaming would help me if once I'm gonna work on my game, I'll be online and hang out with people while I'm doing it, and it'd be fun. Uh, Trying to sort of work through some bugs and technical debt that I just kind of left in there. I mean, when I started the project, I didn't think it was going to be very serious at all, but it's just kind of something I keep plugging away at, so it's becoming more and more serious. It's just that when I started, like, I decided to start making an RPG as my first game, and there's a lot of menus in that, and the UI is hard. So, trying to fix it, but it's fun hanging out on Twitch. Um, all right, so I think if I might be bugged enough right now that I can't. Oh, I might just have to get out of there. Okay, so I switched that window in this switch menu to another type of object, but it's pretty much the same. Now I can check what I can do to change the code. So I have a bad habit of not adding the class name to some of these scripts in Godot unless I had to, but I really should have. Okay, so what would be different about it? This is all styling stuff, and then pause party member, submenu cycler. Wait, what am I looking at? Switch. Oh, okay, this would be a submenu that only is relevant for the pause menu, because you can switch around party members in there, and they would have a submenu of skills, and you could get their summary. Um, I don't need that. I might be able to check the summary of a party member in the middle of a battle, but that would have a different solution. I'd probably have just like a button, and then you can like hold it to look at them. So yeah, I can delete this whole block and then submenu cycler, pause party submenu cycler. How many times is that referenced? Okay, you don't want to have to activate the submenu anymore. That's it. It's just a display box, I guess, in the battle. I'll just delete it and then delete these references to it. And hopefully it doesn't bug out. Alright, so pass. We don't need to deactivate the switch or the field skill submenu part. Disable block is like if they're dead, the box is disabled. See, there's stuff like this where like I put in a simple UI when I'm just kind of like learning, and like I might put like literally a square and like show it or hide it to be like this is deactivated or whatever. But then when I go and replace it with like a whole animation, it's like, okay, well, it's not just replacing the method with like a fancier one. It's it might now you might need to wait for it to finish to be able to activate like the menu above if you cancel out, or activate the sub menu if you go into it. Activate sub menu is pretty much just references to that one I deleted, so you don't want that method. And did I use it anywhere? There must be some other script that uses it. So activate submenu. I'm gonna pray that works because I think it might be called by something else in the pause menu. Yeah, the correct chains of calls are super tricky with like UI, and I just kind of go as I go and like slap stuff together, and like I know that like good practice, if I planned ahead and I knew like what kind of menus I would need, I would like design a whole system of it first and like have sub menus and whatever. And like, even though there's a placeholder for like, okay, turning on a sub menu, that would have a method. Knowing that there is gonna eventually be an animation in it that's like, okay, that menu, when you press the button, it like slides up and then like does something to show that it's active. I should have put in all that framework where I'm like, I can have a simple animation, but then like replace it with something. But I ended up just kind of activating stuff by having like a flag and like something to block it if it's deactivated. Was not planning ahead. So I saved that. I think I should reload it by getting out of the battle. The script would update. Sometimes objects, usually just graphics, like need to reload to keep going when you're in that window, but let's see. Okay. That's still field skill cycler menu cancel. I'm wondering if maybe I do need to reboot the game for that one to work, because I don't see why that should still be there. Oh, yeah, no, I do, because I made this new script, but it still has... Oh, crap, I keep doing that. I think I just edited the, yeah, the original script. That's not what I wanted to do. Okay, that's easy. I started with adding that class name. Let me just do this. Yeah. God, I always forget that. All right. All right, I'll attach stone script. And it'll be pause party submenus. No, that's not the same one. Party member window. Pause party member window. That's the one I had. These should inherit from a superclass, but it's all refactoring stuff that I always end up regretting not doing. All right. Do save all themes. Okay. What I need to make sure of is I didn't break these. Okay, so I can go in here and grab my skills, cancel out, summary, okay. That's not broken. But did I fix the battle? No. I did not. Okay. Let's see what I got here. Okay. Set the class name to that. So it'll print that when it's canceled. What is this attached to? Pause party member window. Okay, let me go back to my battle scene because... Ooh, it might be a preload. Or an auto load. Battle manager, maybe? I don't know. No, it should be the battle scene that contains all that. I'll double check my nodes and then, okay, what type of node is this? Which party member window? Okay. And then what do they have attached? Which party member window? These do not have that submenu, so it's possible they were loaded, auto-loaded. I'll close down the game and then I'll relaunch it and I'll reload my window on OBS. Okay. Let me just edit this a little bit. I'll just reload it up here. It's always a bit of a pain in OBS to reload like a closed window capture, but I gotta like copy the filters and then put them on here and copy the transform. Okay. And I gotta remove the old source. All right. Okay. All right. Pause menu. Gotta make sure I didn't screw that up. Hoping it works. I don't know. I can't see where that's coming from if not. Yeah, no. Okay. What else could be using that? All right. I guess I'll go to the remote inspector here and see what I've got. Okay, in the battle UI. Yeah, I'll move the chat window. And then we can see what I'm doing. You have so many different parts of a UI, the names get confusing. Player control panel, and then the switch menu is underneath that. And you got a backup party box. Okay, there's switches. They don't have that submenu. Okay, so it's probably good I fixed it and made them their own unique element, but that wasn't the source of my problem. What else I got? Player control cycler. I can probably only filter nodes by the name I gave them. I think I want to search by... what was it? If there's any pause cyclers in here. Battle Manager, I think, was just battle logic, like calculations for damage and stuff. Party stat area, stat windows. Oh, what are these? No, okay, no, those are... That's like the part where you actually see your party, those like brown bars on the bottom. I don't have anything like that in here, do I? No. Skill menu. I mean, these have cyclers of their own. But not the same kind. We just expand all of them, just in case when I was adding them all, if I missed one that was loaded from previously. Attack, skills, items. Oh, these, yeah, those are just the options on the cycle with the pegs. Oh, it's possible maybe they're being filled with the wrong type of node whenever I'm loading the actual party members. So let's see. Oh no, but then I would see it in my remote because those nodes would be loaded. Oh yeah, the worms. They're snakes, and you can summon minions in the game. I just have them maxed out to adjust the UI to show if you had like the maximum number that you can summon. Yeah, kind of. So like you see how there's six around each of the three enemies I have. One of them is a big green flashing box because it doesn't have a graphic for that enemy, and then you got the two other enemies. So yeah, yeah. So it's sort of like summons like they would be able to if there's a move that can call like some sort of like animal and it's like smaller than a regular enemy, they can have them and they would hinder your attack. So like it'd be harder to get like they could some of them could lower your accuracy if there's a bunch of them. Some of them might make it harder to get through to get a critical hit. And then they have like passive effects. So these minions have like four spots on your side, and you can have six each of your party members. Yeah, swarm around like that, a swarm in D&D. Yeah. Um, so let's say your four party members all have six, and all of the opposing enemies have six. That'd be a lot on screen, and I wanted to. Right now, it's by default. They're all there, so I can adjust the UI so that you can see all of them. But normally, you would just see like the enemies until they summon something. Um, and the reason I have this like minion summoning system is like it kind of addresses an issue that I have with like some RPGs of like let's say you want to have builds and this is kind of like a JRPG style like turn-based game, but you want to have a build that does poison. Or no, better example, sleep, because this is often like disallowed. Okay, you can have all these moves that let you put an enemy to sleep, but then you come across a boss, and the game designers don't let you put the boss to sleep because that would trivialize it. Well, if you can't use certain builds against bosses, it just kind of ends up making that build not viable. Like if they don't have a move that lets you put a boss to sleep with like 30% chance, let's say, because they're like, okay, a third of the time they'll go into the boss and they're asleep and then it's super easy. Then why would you build a sleep build? You can play a lot of JRPGs by just doing damage. So I thought maybe you let any status effect be viable and have all these different like play styles and builds by having it be something you need to work towards. So instead of doing like a chance of putting something to sleep, you have to summon a bunch of minions that you might only be able to do it once you have a certain amount, and then it's something you have to like build over the course of a battle and then like apply the status effect. And then at me as the game designer, I can let you use any status effect against a boss, and then that build is viable. So that's kind of the idea behind it, is like having more little units. Like there might be a threshold, like it might be higher for harder enemies, but you build them up and then they have like a passive chance each turn of like trying to apply the status effect, and then they kind of and there'll be like moves that do it try to do it directly too, but like the minion thing was my way of addressing that. Let me just see if anything just directly references the script. Hmm. Okay. Oh, skill button. Wait. Field skill cycler button. Okay, I'm instantiating the scene. Okay, that's not a problem. Yeah, that's kind of the problem I try to avoid. Is like you have all these cool, like, people are gonna want to be like, hey, I really want to invest in poison, and it's like, okay, if you decide that you want it to be hard enough that poison doesn't work on bosses, and it's like, how many JRPGs have you played where you don't use status effects? I think a lot of them. Final Fantasy, I like never do. Um, Shin Megami Tensei is good for buffs and debuffs. They're really important. I don't really use status effects. Like, I don't know if you play that, but like, do you really use them? Etrian Odyssey is kind of good for that. Pokemon is like toxic poison is really good and like competitive, but like, and sleep is fine. Pokemon's not bad actually for status effects. Yeah, but Pokemon really doesn't play like a lot of JRPGs, and a lot of the effects are like incidental. Like, it's better because it has a chance of doing it, but you're not like, spending the whole match trying to freeze your opponent because it's so unlikely. Want to make raw damage not the only way to do anything, or not even like the path of least resistance. I think when it's the path of least resistance, it's like, okay, if I just have to mash the attack button and I win, it might not even be optimal. But if you don't have to click through any menus to like do it, then that's what most players are gonna do, you know? I want status effects and buffs and debuffs all to be like something, a tool that you find relevant very often. And then to have like different kind of builds. Where was I? Field skills, cycle menu cancel. I still can't find where that is. Yeah, exactly. Like I would say if you really dug into the math of it, there's a bunch of games like that that like the basic attack isn't the fastest way to kill anything, but it is a way that like if you just mash the A button, you're not going to die by the end of the dungeon. So if you kind of turn your brain off and are just grinding, then which I mean, like, you should be able to turn your brain off and grind sometimes, but like, it shouldn't get you through the whole game. Or at least that's not what I want my game to be. I think it's pretty relaxing for some game. Like, I like that type of game when it's like, Dragon Quest, and it's like a cozy JRPG. But my game's really inspired by Shin Megami Tensei, and I think that you think about even like simple normal battles a lot. That's fun for me. Depends what I'm in the mood for. Kind of hard to do a JRPG style game with very simple mechanics that does it better than Dragon Quest anyway, right? Like, so I'm trying to throw in mechanics that are different than some other stuff I've seen before. I was trying to rethink like status effects and not necessarily just take some version of it that you've seen before. Like, oh, another problem I wanted to solve, not problem, but like something that I think could be done better, or I would want to do more interestingly. Um, this was something I wanted to fix from Pokemon games that I've played. I want status effects to be like substantially different. So if you have, say, poison and burning, how do I put those both in the game to make the most, to evoke the most different types of play styles? Where, one player might want to play a poisoner and another one might want to play a pyromancer. But how do I design those that they feel like what they are, but they're not both just damage over time? Yeah. So like poison could be damage over time, or maybe it has like an effect that weakens or slows you. Like that seems like a realistic thing for poison to do. And like burning, yeah, like it hurts. Maybe it includes damage over time as a component of it. But for me, I have it has a chance of inflicting fear, which is another status effect I have, and that would make like your minions scatter. And I want the minions to be like a really important like defensive mechanic. So you might have to use that like when the enemies are summoning a big army. The burning status effect is like, yeah, it does damage over time, like that's something, but like the main thing you're using it for is to try to get that chance to make those armies like scatter and like clear out the way to get an attack. So um I've got a difference between like melee and ranged attack. Like all the attack skills will have like different tags, and like melee attacks can like critical, which like it affects the turn order. And like magic can't do it, but it like deals with big armies better. Uh, dice dun it dicey. I don't remember the name. Is it dicey dungeon? I haven't played it. Dicey dungeons. Yeah, I haven't played it. Is it good? Yeah, that sounds like a good way of doing it. Um, yeah, just like different ways of interpreting mechanics that we've seen in a lot of RPGs. Like I'm trying to strip away like my preconceptions of them when I'm like making it. Hi, hi, Sanscom. Just trying to fix some UI bugs. What have I got here? I don't think that's the reason. Getting a function call from like, well, it's not from the pause menu. I copied an element from the pause menu, and it's still somewhere in here, and I cannot find it. Well, let me just look at the pause menu to see what I got here. So we got a pause menu cycler. Okay, we got the boxes where they're shown, and then you get pause party member windows. Shield skills menu cycler. I mean, that's on the pause menu. That's how it is. And then I kind of copied these boxes, like these boxes where the party members would be displayed. I just copied them so I could get like a quick style. And they could be filled easily on the menu where you like switch out your party members in the middle of a battle. And I copied code I did not want to copy. But I don't see any reason why it should still be there. Because this would be the... No, not that one. This is different. Switch menu. Oop, what just happened? Oh, thank you. Prostocotilo. I didn't say it earlier. I thought I was going to say it bad. Cotilo or Cotilo. Thank you. Gotta go. See you around. Hope you come back, though. Thanks for dropping in. I was streaming and chatting with Sanscom last week, and I think I mentioned while I was online that I was gonna I think I said I might even stream the next day, and then that week was actually really busy. But this week shouldn't be too hard to get on more than once. But I totally forgot I had some appointments, and then Easter weekend was no-go. But I really do want to stream, like, more days than not, at least. Well, if I can hit like 3 days a week, that'd be great. It's gotta be here. Switch button. Okay, that's just a simple button. Oh, the reward menu. Am I showing? I might be showing. No, not yet. I guess I don't have experience rewards for the backup party members yet. But, okay. Something must be calling that function I deleted, the activate submenu. That's gotta be it. Okay. Pause menu, pause party box, activate submenu. No, that's just in the pause. Okay. All right. I'm gonna take a quick bathroom break. Let me see.